We found this letter in our archives. We're not sure who wrote it, but it's very interesting. And it starts, "Dear Mrs. Speed, well, here I am again with a little more I have remembered. I enjoyed writing to you and going back down memory lane through the years."
Frank, I've just been studying this also, and I'm just wondering if this may have been written by a woman. What are your thoughts?
Well, it may have. Possible.
It was written to a Mrs. Speed, and it reads as this. "Well, here I am again with a little more I have remembered. I enjoyed writing to you and going back down memory lane through the years. Now, as I lay on my bed, I think to what I was told and the wonderful days we spent wandering the mountain. When my great-grandfather first came here in the 1850s, houses had not long started to be built. The people on the mount were mostly sawmillers and their workmen. Bullock teams carted huge logs to the mill, and the sawn timber was taken to Melbourne to build the city. People lived in tents or bark shanties, a hole dug in the side of the hill. They slept on gum leaves. They had no inner mattresses or electric blankets. They got up with the sun and went to bed when the sun went down. There were no books to read unless it was the Bible. In winter, the roads were deep in mud and in summer with dust. A lady known as Granny Turner, Arthur Turner's mother, looked after the sick. There was a jam factory in Devonshire Lane and a shanty near the beginning of the lane. Mrs. Gracie started the first guest house at Rosebank, and not long after one started at Sefton. There was a butter and cheese factory where Dreamthorpe is now. Benson was the manager. There was a brick-making plant in Smith Street run by Mr. Nichols, who later built the State Nursery Hotel. The first store on the mount was opened by Mrs. Dunn, and they ran in opposition to the Coggers. There were eucalyptus distilleries and charcoal burning in the Black Forest. Many a traveller entered the forest never knowing if he would meet his doom. Bushrangers would string fencing wire across the trees, and anyone riding a horse would hit this and be thrown and robbed. Bushrangers used to be around the north side of Camel's Hump, where it was easy to assemble on horseback and where there was plenty of water. They favoured the caves. No troopers were game to go near, as it was too easy to be picked off by gunshot. When the timber finally ran out, the fruit and berry orchards began. Christians had a big one. The school children used to pick the fruit on holidays. A halfpenny was paid for a large wooden bucket of raspberries and currants. When the Governor of Victoria established a cottage on the mount, my father and some of the old-timers considered the past a closed book, and a new era had begun. Many lovely homes and gardens were established. This created a lot of employment, although money and conditions were far from good. Servant girls used to have to work from early morning till night, and the gardeners worked a 50-hour week. The coachmen would drive their employers to a dinner party and wait till all hours. There were no holidays, and workers were always called by their surnames. The State Nursery used to be a most beautiful place with all its lovely trees, well-cut hedges, ponds and fountains. Mr. Firth was in charge and used to ride his horses to various places, giving people advice on trees and what to plant. When the railway started, it made a big difference to Macedon. The Cogger family ran a taxi business. They had cabs and drays and would run their horses where Matlock is now. They carried the Vice-Regal and other notable people. Taylor and Sangsters had a wonderful nursery at the end of Sangsters Road. 2 dray loads of plants would go to the railway station every day. One of the major properties on the north side of the mount was owned by William McGregor. Had he lived longer, this would have been the most beautiful property in Australia. There were about 100 men employed and some of my relations worked there. They helped create the gardens and locks in true Scottish style. Every summer brought the worry of bushfires, even the one the governor's son lit to see what it was like. Many people lost their homes in fires. New Year's Day at Hanging Rock was a happy day for all. Everyone who had anything on wheels and an animal to pull it would follow the dust to the rock. Now, whenever I am taken to Macedon, I see most of the old homes disappearing and new modern homes in their place. Some are built on land that years ago you could not give away. I hope you find something out of what I have written. If not, put a match to it.
We'll just keep talking then. Robert, what are you doing this weekend?